Hi, I'm Karen Bremmeyer, and I have a little bit of an interesting story to share with you today about my fight with leaky gut. It's about how I finally took matters into my own hands and how I put an end to my debilitating symptoms and started feeling great again after suffering every single day for many years. How did I do it? The funny thing is that what worked for me were the very things that my doctors laughed at and told me were ridiculous. But what's even funnier is that these techniques also work for my clients, and I bet they will work for you too. While everyone around me was enjoying life, I could barely function. But when I first found out that there was something I could do about it, I was overcome with a huge sense of relief. I'm going to tell you my story because odds are you are going through something very similar. But it doesn't matter what your chronic symptoms are. Anyone who struggles with any of the symptoms of leaky gut syndrome will relate to this story. In fact, the symptoms of leaky gut are so vast, they can literally be anything from food allergies, to airborne allergies, to arthritis, to IBS, to ulcerative colitis, to Crohn's disease, to chronic fatigue, to depression, to anxiety, to eczema, or recurring infections. And this is just a short list. There are many, many more. And you'll want to make sure you watch this entire video now because it won't be online for very long. I want to tell you more than just my story. I want to give you the cure that I discovered and that still works for my clients today. If you're anything like me, then you have tried everything under the sun to get relief, continuously searching the internet for hours looking for that one thing that you have been missing, hoping that one day you'll just wake up and be back to living the life that you used to enjoy. I remember the frustration of talking to my doctors who could offer me nothing more than a lifetime of prescription drugs to help manage my symptoms. But I wasn't ready to give up just yet. At that time, I was studying to become a dietitian, but none of the dietary recommendations helped. Then I learned that my so-called healthy diet was completely opposite of how I should be eating based upon my genetics. And after a few days of changing my diet, I had more energy than I could remember in years. Talk about a wake-up call. This ultimately led me to change my career path from dietetics to holistic nutritionist. I just wanted to share this energetic feeling with every single one of my clients, and I did. And lo and behold, it worked, and far better than any of the dietitian guidelines I had learned in school. Still on it, hoping for a complete recovery. We will see. Thank you, Karen, for your program. I don't know what I could have done without it. As a secondary note, I am totally appalled that my primary care physician would prescribe prednisone and other drugs that made me even worse, completely ignoring my diet and lifestyle. Now this one I had to remove the program secret, but John writes, "Hi Karen, I have been doing the program each day for the past couple of days and I can feel the benefits already. The pain in my stomach has all but gone and generally I feel much better. Thanks for helping." Here's just a few of the amazing things you'll learn from the Leaky Gut Cure program. On page 41, I talk about the 7 foods that are making your symptoms worse by the day, many which are considered health foods, and exactly what foods you can replace them with to get relief. On page 32, I talk about the 5 must-have keys to a successful gut healing diet. These are the keys that will have you feeling great with more energy than ever. On page 45, I talk about the 5 healing foods that almost nobody takes advantage of, including one of the healthiest fats that you can eat. On page 66, I talk about a secret technique that I learned to determine hidden food allergies on the spot and for free, which cut my clients' healing time in half. On page 29, I talk about the 4 guidelines necessary to guarantee your success. Stick to these guidelines and your results are guaranteed. On page 91, I talk about the #1 thing that holds most people back from getting the results they want and how to make sure it doesn't get in your way. On page 69, I talk about an amazing and completely underutilized trick to help your immune system relax and give you a much-needed break from your chronic symptoms. On page 84, I talk about the best supplement to accelerate the healing process and close up those holes in your gut that are leaving you vulnerable to all of the leaky gut symptoms. On page 88, I talk about how to maintain your results for life so that you never have to worry about your symptoms ever again, and so you can get back to living the life of your dreams. But don't worry. I know and understand what you are going through on a day-to-day basis suffering from leaky gut syndrome. The last thing you want to do is spend what little time and energy you do have reading a book only to forget what you are supposed